我相信我可以，有目标就往上爬。你相信你可以，勇敢的往前冲吧。有想法就有办法，有办法就不用怕，我们一起到达，是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量，我们一起到达。超越表现的力量。我相信我可以，有目标就往上爬。你相信你可以，勇敢的往前冲吧。有想法就有办法，有办法就不用怕，我们一起到达，是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量，我们一起到达，是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量。我相信我可以，有目标就往上爬。你相信你可以，勇敢的往前冲吧。有想法就有办法，有办法就不用怕，我们一起到达，是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量，我们一起到达，是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量。
Hi everyone, good morning. Good morning everyone. Wow, it's Friday again. It's Friday morning again, and as usual, I will be doing my sharing session again, and that's on Secrets Revealed series. Yes, I'm going to reveal more secrets to you. I am going to reveal to you the techniques to solve tax audit issues. Now, I know a lot of you have been following this Secrets Revealed series. A lot of you have been learning a lot of techniques on how to solve tax audit issues from me already, right? So now stay tuned, don't go anywhere because we're going to start at 11 o'clock sharp. We are going to start at 11 o'clock sharp, so don't go anywhere. Yeah, don't go anywhere. Just stay here. We are going to start later, right? Just a few more minutes. Yeah, and I'm going to share with you more secrets, more techniques on how to solve tax audit issues. Yeah, but you know what? If since you're here early, yeah, you're here early, and just a few more minutes before we start, do one thing right now. Share this Facebook Live out. You know why? Because today we have lucky draw. Yes, we have lucky draw today. So it's very simple. We have a lucky draw for three winners to win one of the tickets to our tax audit and investigation webinar. And that's worth 498 ringgit each. Yes, it's worth 498 ringgit each. Yeah, and there will be three winners. I'll be drawing three lucky winners today. But how do you get that? It's simple. Share this Facebook Live out. Share this out by just clicking or tapping the share button. If you're viewing it from a phone, go to the bottom of the screen. You see that share button. Tap that share button. If you are using a computer, look at the share button. You find the share button. Click that share button. You'll be sharing this Facebook Live out. Then tag 5 friends. Now you need to then tag 5 friends once you have shared this out. You tag 5 friends in the comment box, and when we see you have already tagged 5 friends, you will stand a chance to win one of these 3 tickets. Yeah, your name will go into the lucky draw pool, and I will be drawing 3 names at the end of the session, and you could win one of the tickets, yeah, to our tax audit and investigation webinar, and that's worth 498 ringgit each. Yes, so it's simple. Just share this out, then tag 5 friends into the comment box, and you will stand a chance. Yeah, your name will go into the lucky draw pool. So I'll see you a few minutes later. We're gonna start at 11 o'clock sharp. Yeah, I'll see you later, and please share this out right now. Tag your friends right now. All right, and I'll see you soon.
有办法就不用怕，我们一起到达，是 number one， 强大的企业家，超越表现的力量，我们一起到达，是 number one， 强大的企业家。超越表现的力量。我相信我可以，有目标就往上爬。你相信你可以勇敢地往前冲吧，有想法就有办法，有办法就不用怕，我们一起到达。
All right. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday morning, and as usual, at 11 o'clock, we are going to start our Secrets Revealed series. techniques to solve tax audit issue. Yes, I know a lot of you have been following me. A lot of you have been always, following this secret review series to learn all the techniques to solve tax audit issue. Yeah, and I can see, wow, a lot of you have already started, tagging and sharing this out. Like Chua Nicole, thank you so much, Chua, for sharing and tagging your friends. I can see Zhao Xuan is also tagging. John Ruben is Zhao Xuan is tagging Ruben. Can I guess? John Ruben is tagging back Zhao Xuan. Okay, so this is a little bit. I mean, you tag each other, yeah. All right. Anyway. Now let me just tell you, yeah. Today we're gonna have a lucky draw session. Yeah, today we are going to have a lucky draw session, and those that have just joined me, yeah, I can see more than 100 people right now. More than 100 people are right now in this, FB Live, in this Facebook Live. And now those that have just joined me, let me just tell you again, yeah, that today we have a lucky draw session, and I will be drawing 3 names. Yes, 3 names to win one of the tickets to our tax audit and investigation webinar, and that is worth 498 ringgit each. Yes, it's worth 498 ringgit each. Yeah. How to win that? You may ask me how to win that. Very simple. Just share this Facebook Live out, first of all, by tapping or clicking the share button. If you're viewing it from a phone, go to the bottom of the screen. You will see that share button. Tap that share button. If you're viewing it from a computer, you will also find that share button. Just click that share button, and you will be able to share this Facebook Live out. Thereafter, after you have shared, what you need to do is tag 5 friends. Tag 5 friends into the comment box right now. Once we have seen that you have tagged 5 friends, your name will go into the lucky draw pool, and we will be drawing 3 names after this. Yeah, 3 names at the end of the session to win one of the tickets to our tax audit and investigation webinar worth 498 ringgit. So that's just that simple. Yeah, share this out, then tag 5 friends into the comment box. Yeah, once we see you have got 5 friends tagged in the comment box, you will run into the lucky draw pool. All right. Okay, I can see more than 100 people are here already. And wow, I can see a lot of people are saying good morning to me, like Kiki, hi, good morning. Yeah, Kelly Tan, good morning to you. Vincent also say hi. Hi, KK as well. And I have Tan Chow Wei also says hi, all of you. Good morning. All right, I know some of you have been, following this for very long. A lot of you are actually, like following this every fortnight. Yeah, every 2 weeks, I'll be doing this, and you have been following, you have been learning a lot already. Now, but still, having said that, I just want to check with you, how many of you here actually join us for the very first time? How many of you are actually a first timer now? If you are a first timer, I just want to do some interaction with you all, because this is what Facebook Live is all about. If you are a first timer, can you just put number 1? Put number 1 into the comment box so that I know you're a first timer. Can I just see how many first timers are there? How many? Yeah, I know Nancy is saying hi, good day. Hi Nancy. Hi Xiao Hui Lim. Hi. Okay, how many of you first timers? If you're a first timer, yeah, can you just put number 1 into the comment box so that I know you are a first timer, so that I know this is your very first time joining us. And well, let's see. I have Kaliang. Ciao Kaliang. Hi Kaliang, this is your first time joining me. You sure? You sure have not joined me before? Okay. Hong Wei is the first timer. Wow. How many? Who else? Sweetie Teo is also a first timer. I have here Wong Si Yin also a first timer. I have Wendy, Suvanis Wari. I have Wan Jing Ng also a first timer. Wow, looks like we have quite a few first timer here. Fatin Nabila, Now Chen Chet. I can see more people are tagging people. All right, thanks so much for tagging your friends. I see Azri, I see Hui Yin, Tevgi Saktivel, is that how I pronounce your name? Okay, so Linda Ng as well. Wow, so many of you first timers here. Very good. Thank you so much for joining me for the very first time. And I can tell you what. Oh, Leon also first timer. Leon also first timer. Now, let me tell you what. This one, if you're joining it for the very first time, right, you probably do not know who I am. You probably say, okay, I'm here for the very first time, and well, I know your name is Zen Chow. It's Zen Chow, and I know people call you the tax guru. well, tax guru is just what people call me. The fact is that I am actually the tax executive director of YYC Group. Yeah, I'm the tax executive director of YYC Group. But you may then say, hey, who's YYC over here? You say you are the director of YYC, but who's that? Let me just take this opportunity to quickly go through with you, share with you who YYC is here. Now, YYC is actually an accounting and advisory firm, and we were established since 1974. Of course, our brand promise over here is we want to empower entrepreneurial success. But of course, to do all that, we have our vision and mission. Our vision, we want to be the number one world-class accounting and advisory firm in Asia. But our mission is more important. Why? Because our mission here is we want to inspire everyone, including you who are watching Facebook Live right now. We want to inspire you as well, so that you can overcome your odds, unleash your potential, and more importantly, find fulfillment in life. Now, that looks like a very important mission, right? Now, but to do all this, of course, we need to have our brand promises. We need to have our brand promises. Now, how? Now, you see, there are three promises that we always have to uphold, right? And the very first one is we want to share expertise. Now, why do we want to share expertise? Why do we want to do this? This is a free live session. Why do we want to do this for free? That's because this is our brand promise. We want to share our expertise to everyone. And not just that, we want to show proactive care. Not normal care, but proactive care, because we want all our clients, to see that we are proactively caring for them. And we want all of them to have the most positive experience ever. That's our promises. Now, you may think YYC is probably just a normal accounting firm, like any other accounting firms out there, right? But no, that's not right. Why? Because any normal accounting firm, they will only have like the compliance service, which is, the compliance services. And you will see like audit service, tax service, accounting service. Well, this is what usually an accounting firm will do. But we have much more than that. We have our own advisory arm, of which we do a lot of advisory services like share structure, strategic planning, restructuring, or even cloud and digital transformation. See that? And we also have our very own business school. That means we hold a lot of talk, webinar, seminars, workshops from time to time. And we also do outsourcing, like outsource accounting, outsource bookkeeping, or even outsource payroll through our global business services. Now, if you ever see any of these services that you think, hey, I'm interested, I want to know more, just feel free to drop us a message here. Just feel free to PM us, drop us a message, and we shall get to you very soon. I'll get our professional team to get to you very soon to let you know more, right? To let you understand more. All right. Now, next thing is, I told you like YYC was established since 1974, right? That means we are 47 years old this year. Yes, we're turning 47 years old, and we call ourselves an international firm. Yes. We don't just have presence in Malaysia, we also have presence in Singapore. We are an international firm right now. We have more than 800 employees, we have more than 20,000 clients, and we have trained more than 130,000 participants through all our workshops, because we have done more than 5,000 workshops. Now, these are all the awards given to YYC throughout all these years. Now, like I said, YYC is now an international firm. That means we don't just have presence in Malaysia, we also have presence in Singapore. But of course, in Malaysia, right, we have branches in many states. Of course, our headquarters is in Kuala Lumpur. But apart from that, we also have branches in Selangor, in Johor, as well as in Penang. All right. Now, every time when I come to this part, this is what I always like to do, to be more interactive, because Facebook Live is all about interaction, isn't it? Right. So what I probably want to do is I want to just ask you, out of 100 over people, close to 200 right now, close to 200 people right now, hey, how many of you here? I want to check with you. Where are you from? Where are you from? Can you just tell me, like, put into the comment box here, which state or which town or which city or even which area, if you want to be more specific. Like if you say I'm from Kuala Lumpur, you can be more specific. Which part of Kuala Lumpur? You're from Setapak, Kepong, Cheras, you can tell me that, Or you can just tell me which state, which town, or which city you're from. Just let me gauge, out of like close to 200 people right now, where are all of you from? Okay, I can see Seok Yuan Cheng is replying to me already, saying that she's from Penang. Wow, welcome, Penang. Oh, Lau Chin Chiet also from Penang. Wow, so we have people from the north, watching this Facebook Live right now, And I have Vivian Lee from Kajang. Vivian Lee is from Kajang. And I have John Ruben. John Ruben is from Johor Jaya. Johor. That's down south. Wow. So now we have people from the north, We have Kajang, that's Central Malaysia, and we have people from the south, yeah, like John Ruben is from Johor Jaya. All right, so where else are you guys from? You know, we have close to 200 people right now, yeah. So where are you from? Just tell me, yeah. Nancy is from Subang Jaya, USJ2. That's very specific. That's very specific. USJ2 in Subang Jaya, yeah. Okay, that's probably near, you know, near that shopping mall, that Taman shopping mall, right? I suppose, yeah, USJ2 is somewhere there, lah. All right, okay. It's been some time since I last go to USJ. Kezia is from Kajang. Sweetie is from Penang, Chua Nico from Kepong, and then I have Ah En is from Kuching, Sarawak. Wow, people from the East Malaysia. And Ben Yip is from Ipoh as well. Well, looks like today we have a good mix. We have a good mix. We have people from the north, from the south, from the central. We even have people from the East Malaysia. That's very good. Very good, yeah. And thank you for coming, for joining this. And now, I know all of you here today, you come in, you don't want to just chit-chat with me. I understand. You don't want to come in, you know, to just chit-chat, to just tell me where you're from, right? This is not the intention of you coming to the Facebook Live, right? All of you come in here because you want to learn. You want to learn my secrets. You want to learn my techniques on how to solve tax audit issues, isn't it? Yeah. And did you know today we are at episode 27? Yes. You must be wondering, I mean, those first timers that told me that you are coming in for the very first time, you probably will be telling me, episode 27 already? That means I've missed 26 episodes. Yes, you have missed 26 episodes if this is your very first time. But don't worry, you don't really have to miss them because all these previous 26 episodes, they are in my Facebook page. Yes, if you just go to my Facebook page, go to Tax Guru Zen Chow, yeah, Tax Guru Zen Chow Facebook page. You go to the video section, yeah, the video section, you will find all the previous 26 episodes. They're all there for you to view back, yeah, to watch back, yeah. But of course, I would encourage you to come to the live session because in the live session, you get to ask questions live and I can answer to your questions live as well, yeah. So what should you do? Don't miss the next live session, yeah. Go to my Facebook page, Tax Guru Zen Chow. Remember to like, share, and follow. Most importantly, follow my Facebook page so that you don't miss it anymore, so that you will get the latest update whenever I post up any new tax updates over there, and you won't miss the live every time I do a new live session. All right, so remember, go to my Tax Guru Zen Chow Facebook page, like, share, most importantly, follow my page. All right, okay, now back to business. So today we're at episode 27, yeah, episode 27. So what is this episode 27 all about? What are we gonna discuss? Yeah, today we're gonna talk about advertisement expenses. Now, those that have joined me for so many rounds, yeah, you would know, yeah, how I usually share my techniques. How do I actually reveal my secrets? Is I'll tell you the concept. I'll tell you the concept of, you know, the deductibility, you know, the concept of the tax treatment of certain issues, and then I'll share one case with you. I'll share one case, a real life case that really happened to our client, yeah, you know, that actually got audited, and this issue was raised, and how we actually solved this issue for our client. Yes, I'll be sharing one real case with you later on this issue, advertisement expenses, yeah, and how IRB actually raised this out as an issue, you know, tax our client more, impose a penalty to our client. Then how did we step in, help the client, solve the issue, drop the issue, and help our client to save that tax, save the penalty? Yes, that's what I'm gonna share with you, yeah. And today, I also have a bonus session. I also have a bonus session at the end that talks more about advertisement. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. But now, those that have just joined me, I can see more and more people are here already. Those that have just joined me, right before you miss this, today is very special because today we have a lucky draw. Today we have a lucky draw session. If you don't want to miss the lucky draw session, do this. Very simple. We're just starting, and we're talking about episode 27, advertisement expenses. You just have to share this Facebook Live out right now by clicking or tapping that share button. Then tag 5 friends. Tag 5 friends into the comment box, and you will stand a chance to win one of the tickets to our tax audit and investigation webinar. One of the tickets to our tax audit and investigation webinar, and that is very, very special. You can actually get this ticket with 498 ringgit because you will stand a chance. You will go into a lucky draw pool, and we will draw 3 names. We will draw 3 names, and you will actually get a chance to win that. So if you have not done so, share this out right now. Tag 5 friends and tag 5 friends in our comment box. You will stand a chance at the end of the session. All right, now let's get back to business. All right, advertisement expenses. Now, what's this whole concept of advertisement expenses? You may ask me, hey, if I spend money on advertisement, do I get tax deductions? Yeah. So let's look at the general principles of deductibility over here. Now, first, in the Income Tax Act, yeah, I always stress this. Now, those that have been following, you always stress this. Whether an expense is deductible or not, we have to always go back to the basic, that is Section 33, Sub 1 of the Income Tax Act 1967. And this subsection here says the conditions for an expense to be tax deductible. Now, let's look at what are the conditions over there. First, it must be incurred during that period. Now, when I say incurred, it means you must have obligation to pay. You must have obligation to pay. You must have got, like an invoice to tell you that, hey, I have to pay this already. Yeah, you must have that. You must have that. Yeah. So now, if I were to say that, hey, you spend money on advertisement, you spend money on advertisement, well, can you actually get deduction for the advertisement? And then you have to first tell me, have you really incurred that? Did you already have the invoice? People bill you and you have to pay for that. And if you say, oh, yes, then that's incurred. That's incurred, right? But sometimes some people will say, hey, every year I have a budget for advertisement. So I'll do a provision first. I'll put in a provision for advertisement, and that is not deductible. Yeah, putting in a provision, putting in an estimated amount for advertisement, that is not deductible. Why? Because it's simple. It's not incurred. You don't have the obligation to pay. It's just an estimation. See that? So if it's an estimation, no, you don't get deduction. But if it's incurred, you have already obligation to pay. That fulfills the first criteria. Now that fulfills the first criteria, then the second criteria is what? The second criteria over here is it must be an outgoing and expense. Wow, what does it mean? It means here, if you have got an expense, you really have to spend money, right? That's an outgoing, you got to pay money. Then you say, of course, if I have to incur expense, I definitely have to pay money for it, right? Yeah. So most of the time, this condition, you should fulfill it. You should fulfill it for most of your expenses. So I don't see any problem with that, yeah? But let's look at the third one. Now, the third condition is that your advertisement must be wholly and exclusively for your business. Now, you cannot say any kind of advertisement also I can get a deduction. No, you have to first look at whether or not your advertisement is for your business. Are you promoting your business? Are you promoting your service? Are you promoting your product or your goods? Yeah, it must be wholly and exclusively incurred for your business. Then only you can get deduction. If you say, I'm going to put up an advertisement for the sale of my property, hey, selling property is not business. Please remember that. Yeah? I know some people may say, hey, I thought, if I have a property in my company and then I put up advertisement to sell, that advertisement can be deductible, right? No, that is not your business, because if you sell a property, that is not your business income. Yeah, you may use that advertisement cost for RPGT purpose, for real property gains tax purpose when you calculate your real property gains tax, but definitely not for your business deduction, because the property is not your business income. Yeah, so if the advertisement is relating to business, is wholly and exclusively for business, then you fulfill this condition number 3. Okay, so please remember that. Yeah, the fourth one, revenue in nature. What do we mean by revenue in nature? That means whatever you pay, whatever expense that you pay, it is actually for the continuation of your business. It is to maintain your business. You don't create an asset. You don't create an asset. That means if you pay and you get an asset in return, that's capital in nature. That's not revenue in nature. Yeah, because let's say I buy a computer, I buy tables, I buy chairs. That's buying asset. Even buying a license, that's intangible asset. This is capital in nature. You don't get deduction, yeah? So it must be revenue in nature. All right. So most of the time, advertisement, well, I don't get any asset in return, right? It should be revenue in nature. Now, the most important part, whenever I come to Section 33, is your expense must be in the production of gross income. What do I mean by in the production of gross income? It means whatever expense that you have to expense, or whatever expense that you have to incur, it must help you to generate more income. Yeah, that means I pay this expense because I want to generate more income, because I want to get more sales. Now, so if you say, if I spend on advertisement, would this advertisement bring me more sales? Yeah. If I advertise this, would it bring me more sales? Because some people would always tell me this. Let me just give you some example. They say, hey, if I were to put up a congratulatory advertisement, can I get deduction? Let me ask you this question. You go and congratulate someone because maybe someone got conferred with datukship. Yeah, someone got datukship and you can congratulate that person. Hey, Would people give you more sales because you congratulate the other person? No, man. People would not actually, know who you even are, They just see your name and in the advertisement saying that I'm congratulating someone who got conferred with Dato shit, right? How do you get more sales because of that? So that's why people are asking me, hey, if I do congratulatory expense, advertisement, can I get deduction? The answer is no, because congratulatory advertisement, you don't get more sales out of that. It's not in the production of gross income. You don't even promote your product. You don't promote your service. You see that? So very importantly, it must be in the production of gross income before you can get, deduction, right? So you have to fulfill all these for your advertisement fee to be deductible. Now, that's the concept. That's the general principle. So I hope now you get the principle of deduction for advertisement. But now, let's look at the case. Now, we have this case. We have got this case from our client. This is a real life case, a real life audit case, right, from the Inland Revenue Board. Now, the Inland Revenue Board came to one of our clients, and checked on our client's accounts. They audited our client and they found out this issue with regards to advertisement. Now, let's look at the background. Let's look at the background of the case. Okay. Now, the background of the case is that our client is principally involved in the business of restaurant operator. Okay. Well, restaurant operator, no problem, right? Definitely no issue, right? So they started their business in 2018 and they have paid advertisement expenses. Now, but they paid it to a related company. Okay, so the advertisement company, is a related company. Well, is there any issue? Well, no issue yet. Let's look further. So they paid to a related company. Let's call that company T. And this related company is company T. In 2018, for what? For the purpose of promoting the client's restaurant. Okay, so company T, that related company, has been doing a lot of things, have been providing advertisements on Facebook, on Instagram. They also do concert sponsorship, for the purpose of displaying the brand name, hiring famous artists to promote the restaurant, nowadays we have KOL, we have social media influencers, things like that, right? They will hire famous artists to promote the restaurant. They also make short videos, they do contests and everything, to the client. All right. So you may say, hey, all this is actually promoting the business, right? Yes, it is. Well, so rightfully, there shouldn't be any issue, right? Well, rightfully, there shouldn't be any issue, right? But of course, when the Inland Revenue Board came, they found out some issues. So what issue? What issue have they found out? Let's look at this. Issues raised by the Inland Revenue Board. They found out that, hey, these charges, the charges from company T, were actually based on the percentage of sales made by the client, regardless of whatever the work is done. That means that the way they charge advertisement fee is not based on what I've done for you. It's that, okay, I'll cover all this for you, and then I'll charge you based on the sales that you can obtain, right? So they will actually take a bite from the sales, because I help you to promote all these, right? And you get more sales after that, right? So whatever sales that you get, right, I will take a cut. I'll take a cut from there, and that is my advertisement fee. That's the advertisement charges, regardless of whatever work done, right? So the IRB say, hey, this sounds a little bit strange, you don't look at whatever work done, you just take a percentage. And furthermore, the IRB, the Inland Revenue Board, claim that this payment to related company is not genuine. They say you are not really charging based on the work done. You're charging based on percentage only. So I don't see why this is genuine unless you prove to me that work is done. If there's no work done, I don't think this is genuine. I don't think there have been any advertisements work that have been made at all. No advertisements was provided at all. It's just, taking a cut from the sales just to shift the revenue over to another company, because it's related, you see. It's related company. They say you're only shifting that profit over to another company. There's no work done, unless you can prove to me. See? And because of that, right, the Inland Revenue came in, they added back the whole amount. I tell you what, it's very common, It's very common when the Inland Revenue Board came in, they suspect something is not right. They suspect that the expense is not genuine. They suspect that it is not incurred in the production of gross income. They will add back and they will disallow the amount. They will disallow the deductibility of that expense. And what happened is, once they added back, once they disallow the amount, right, there will be additional tax that you have to pay and penalties amount. Because when there's additional tax payable, they say you have underdeclared your tax. Yeah, you have underdeclared your tax, you have to pay more tax, you got to pay penalty. So that is what happened to our client. Now, I see there's a question here already. Okay, let me just look at this question from Fatin Nabila. Yeah, Fatin Nabila is asking this question. Let me just quickly answer to one short question. Yeah, Fatin Nabila is asking if got agreement for advertisement during current year, but never started yet due to COVID restrictions, eligible or not? Now, Fatin Nabila, let me just tell you, you have got agreement, right? But you say not started. Now. If it's not started, you wouldn't get invoice, right? People wouldn't bill you, right? I know you have already got agreement, but no one bill you, no one asks you to pay anything, right? If you have no obligation to pay, how do you get deduction? Yeah, unless you say, well, you have got agreement, you have already signed, you have already got the invoice, you have obligation to pay, you have to pay already because you're already entitled for some advertisement. It's just that they have not done it for you. The obligation to pay is already there. Then, well, I would say you still get deduction, lah, right? If the advertisement is really relating to your business to help you to boost sales. But if there is no invoice even raised to you, yeah, you know, how do you get deduction, right? So just the agreement alone, you don't get any deduction, Fatin. Just remember that. Okay, all right. Now, let me just carry on, yeah? Let me just drink some water. Now, so these are the issues raised by the Inland Revenue Board. And this is what they said. Now, this is a real thing, yeah? Look at this, yeah? The IRB says, advertisement. They say, right, this taxpayer has paid 186,000 plus, yeah, 186,000 plus, yeah, to a related company. And they say, right, your invoice is only based on percentage. You see, tertera kadar peratusan yang perlu dijelaskan oleh pihak tuan berdasarkan jualan bulanan. They said, you are paying based on the percentage of sales, right? So they said, how can you prove to me? So you say, right, tuntutan ini hanya akan dibenarkan sekiranya pihak tuan dapat membuktikan kerja-kerja periklanan yang telah dilakukan. So you got to prove. You got to prove to me that you have really done advertisement, you have really done the work, then only I will consider it as deductible. Otherwise, tidak dibenarkan dan akan dianggap sebagai suatu peruntukan. See, they will just treat it as, this is just a provision. You have not done anything. It's just a provision, right? They take some money from you just to have provision for whatever that they will be doing later. See, now, 186,000 being added back. This is not a small amount. Yeah. Did you know that if they add back 186,000, this company has to pay 24% tax for it? You know, 24% is roughly 1 quarter. Yeah, 186,000. If you take 1 quarter, divide it by 4, how much is it? 40 over 1,000, about 46,000. Yeah, about there. Yeah, all right, 45, 46,000 around there. That's tax only. Yeah. And you have to pay penalty some more, another 45% penalty, which is roughly like half of it, right? So they pay another like 20 over 1,000. They have to pay about 70,000 ringgit just because of this issue, you know. Audit, tax plus penalty, about 70,000 ringgit, you know. So of course we went in, we analyzed the whole thing. We went in, we analyzed, we looked at the advertisement expenses, and we argue. Of course, we have to argue. We have to tell the Inland Revenue Board, and we say, no. This should not be added back. This 70 over 1,000 ringgit of tax on penalty should not be payable, right? Because first, we say, advertisement expenses were actually really for the operation of the restaurant, and they were wholly and exclusively incurred for business purpose. All the works to be done by company T, yeah, they are all promoting the business. They are all, you know, helping the restaurant to generate more sales, yeah. And furthermore, this is definitely genuine. How do we prove that it's definitely genuine? Because company T, which is the service provider, the advertisement service provider, they reported all this income in its tax return. That means this is genuine, I'm not paying for nothing. Company PT received the income, they declare it in their income tax return. Of course, we have to prove this to the Inland Revenue Board, and we substantiate it further with all the works done. Now, this is what I always tell accountants, especially, if you do accounts, you always say, I don't have to keep all the non-financials related documents, all the non-financial stuff, just, let the operation team keeps it. I'm doing accounts, I don't have to look at all that one. I just need invoice only. No, you see, we substantiate with all the social media link, the concert brochure, the payment proof, audited report, and everything. We have to show all the work done by company T. What have they done? They have done all the brochures. They have done all the designs for social media advertisements, right? We get all this, we gather all this, and we show to the Inland Revenue Board, hey, these are the advertisements work done by company T, and therefore they actually take that advertisement charges, right? So we show the Inner Revenue Board, we say this is genuine, there were indeed advertisement works being done, right? Now, of course, after showing all this, we convince the Inner Revenue Board and they drop that issue, because now you can show that I charge you and I do work for you, there's work done, I have all the proof over here. They drop the issue. So what is the moral of the story? It means please keep all the relevant documentations. I know most of you who do accounts, who are in the finance team, you will say, non-financial related stuff I don't want to keep. No, that's not the way. You should keep all this, because when it comes to tax audit, when it comes to tax investigation, when it comes to all these findings, you need to defend your issue with all these documents. So what's the rationale of the whole appeal? You see, the rationale is simple, because the advertisement is incurred wholly and exclusively in the production of gross income. So therefore, it should be deductible. That's valid commercial reason for all the advertisement expenses paid. They have really done the work. All this work is relating to promoting business. That's definitely a valid commercial reason for paying the advertisement charges, yeah? And they were all supported. They were all supported by all the social medias, right? By concert brochures and things like that, to show that they indeed have done work. And most importantly is the matching concept. Yeah, one person is paying, the other person is receiving. The person who receives that company tier has actually proven these charges are actually genuine. Yeah, they were all genuine. They were all reported in its income tax return. See that? So with all this, we managed to drop the case. We saved the client 70 over thousand ringgit just because of that, 70 over thousand worth of tax and penalty by helping them to analyze all this. So this is what I'm telling you. If in the event you receive any tax audit findings from the Inland Revenue Board and then they claim, oh, this is not deductible, that is not deductible, this one you have to add back. Please don't just agree just like that. Don't just agree. Always go to your professional, go to your tax agent. Ask properly, can we fight? Can we argue? Can we fight on this? Yeah. Or if you say, hey, I really have a case right now that I really need some help, you can always come to YYC as well. Drop us a message. You can always drop us a message. We can always look into your case and see if we can help you also, because that's what we want to do. We want to help people to solve tax audit issues. Yeah. Don't just agree to the Inland Revenue Board on whatever they say. Yeah. So this is very important. All right. But of course, after this, I have this is my advice. Yeah, we have an advice for you. Yeah, now please, all the time, yeah, whenever you have any work to be done with your related company, always ensure there is an agreement. Ensure there is an agreement. Ensure there's a contract to spell out all the detail, the terms and conditions of the transaction, especially related company. Yeah, because if in the terms in the contract, if the terms and agreement if the terms and conditions says very clearly that, hey, you know what, whatever that I pay you, yeah, is calculated as such, yeah, and you have to do all this work for me. If it's stated clearly, and if there is commercial reason behind to back how these charges are calculated, then it's all fine already, it's all fine, because it's all commercial reason and there is a proper contract sign, right? And of course, ensure proper documentation, because whenever it comes to audit, people would ask for documentations, people would ask for proof, right, to justify the purpose of the expenses, like all your brochure, your payment proof, etc. Please have that. And of course, never ever create fictitious payment to related company. Never ever do that, because if you create fictitious payment or any fictitious invoice, I tell you what, in the end, the IRB will find out and they will disallow all your expense, and you will see yourself in a big trouble. You got to pay a lot of penalty for that. All right. Okay, I've got some questions. Let me just answer to a few questions before we go to our bonus session. Yeah, we have a bonus session today, remember? Okay, let's look at, I have Tommy Chia over here asking this question. Quick question, let me just answer first. Advertisement, our service on Facebook and Google page. The platform charge followed by click and days. Is that allowable? What do you mean by the platform charge followed by click and days? So does it mean that they charge you advertisement fee based on how many people have clicked that advertisement, is it? Well, back to basic, yeah, Tommy Chia. If you say that advertisement is to promote your business, it is actually in the production of your income. It is wholly and exclusively for your business. Yeah. So no matter how they charge, click and days, that's okay. As long as it's all agreed between you and Facebook, between you and Google. They say, okay, we will charge you fee based on, this click, right? But as long as the advertisement is relating to your business, it is to promote your business, that will be deductible. So please keep all the relevant documentation, to show that you are actually having advertisements to promote your product or services. Okay, the other question is Lao Shen Chiat is asking this. How do we know company T already reported in their income and get their audited report and tax com? Now, Lao Shen Chiat, it's because this company is a related company, so of course we can get the tax computation lah. Yeah, of course we can get the tax computation because it's a related company. So this is one extra thing that we have done to tell the Inland Revenue Board, hey, this is definitely not fictitious. This is not made up. Because when this client, this restaurant pays the advertisement fee, that company T actually reported into its income tax return as well. So I'm trying to show that matching principle. Yeah, but of course, if this is not a related company, you probably won't be able to get this from the client, from the service provider. Yeah, so this additional point to actually support the argument when we do this. Yeah, when we do this. Okay, all right. I've got another question here from B Cheng. Okay, B Cheng Lim is asking, invoice issued but work not done due to current pandemic, is it still deductible? Now, B Cheng, very important thing that I probably need to check with you is, have you actually got the obligation to pay when the work is not done? Because if you say, hey, the work is not done, therefore the invoice need not to be paid yet. Yeah, because most of the time it's like that, Mama. The invoice is only due when the work is done. If you say, hey, it is not done, it is not due to be paid because the work is not done, yeah, then you have no obligation to pay, therefore it's not deductible because it has to be incurred. But if you say, oh, it's also due already, it's just that they have not done it yet, but I already know what they are gonna do. I already know what they're gonna do. I already know, all the things they have already they have already told me what is the advertisements and things like that. Yeah. Then I would say if you have the obligation already, you still can get deduction because it's already incurred. Yeah. So very important is whether it is incurred, whether you have the obligation to pay already or not. All right. So that's very important. Okay. I answered to one more question. This is a long one. I think I saw this earlier also. Stephen Lai. I saw you put this up earlier when we were doing the introduction. Okay. Stephen Lai was asking this. LHN auditor is fond of raising issues regarding gross profit ratio not in line to their industry standard and raise assessment based on their industry standard. As you're probably aware, the industry standard is used to select cases for audit and not to punish taxpayers if their GP is not in line with the LHN industry standard. Wow. Okay. So your question is, Stephen Lai, your question is this doable? Is this acceptable? Is it? Because the IRB always use their industry standard GP and say, hey, because your GP is not in line with my GP, therefore, oh, I saw your previous question. Okay, this was your previous question. Your previous question is that, so I need your opinion how to deal with these issues, right? Okay, let me tell you, Stephen, if the Inland Revenue Board pick your case and say, hey, your GP is not in line with my industry GP, well, they can suspect that you probably have done something wrong. They can suspect, but it doesn't mean that they can strongly just push it through and say, no, I'm not going to follow your GP. You have to follow my GP. No, they can't do that if you have all proper documentations. Now, let me tell you, if you have all proper documentations to prove that this is my sales, this is my purchase, everything is genuine, all the payment records are there, all the agreements are there, they have no right, absolutely no right to say why your GP is lower than the industry GP. No, right? Everyone can do business differently. But if you have insufficient record, let me tell you, if you have insufficient record, you do not have proper documentation, you can't prove this, you can't prove that, you say this is lost, that is lost, then how do you defend yourself? When you can't defend yourself, you can't prove that your GP is actually genuine, you can't prove that your GP is actually correct, the IRB has no choice. They have to use their best judgment. They have to use their best judgment to say that since you can't prove that you are right, I'll just have to use the industry GP and put that GP onto your business because you can't prove that your GP is genuine anymore. So the very important thing over here is whether or not you can prove that your GP is actually genuine. Right? That is the important part. Yeah. All right, Stephen Lai, I hope you get that. If you have good enough documentations to prove your GP is genuine, they have absolutely no right to force you to follow the GP. Okay? All right. Okay, let's carry on. I said I want to do bonus session. I know there are more questions. Don't worry. I'll answer to the rest of the questions later. Yeah. Now, I have more to tell you all. All right. Bonus session. Now, those that have just joined me, I tell you, this is probably your final chance. If you have not shared this Facebook Live out, I think you find this very interesting, very beneficial, right? Now, if you have not shared this Facebook Live out, please quickly share this out because today we have lucky draw. Yeah. Today we have lucky draw session. Yeah. Just share this Facebook Live out by tapping or clicking that share button. If you're viewing it from a phone, go to the bottom. Go to the bottom of your screen. Look at that. Tap a share button tap that share button. If you're viewing it from a computer, go to that share button in your computer, click that share button. Share this out with your friends, family, business partners, yeah, so that they can come in, and after you have shared, tag 5 friends. Remember, yeah, after you have shared, yeah, tag 5 friends, yeah. Invite them to come in. Just tag 5 friends into the comment box, because if you do that, you will run, you stand a chance to go into our lucky draw, yeah, lucky draw, because I'll be drawing 3 lucky draw winners, yeah, to win one of the 3 tickets to our tax audit and investigation webinar that is worth 498 ringgit each. Yes, that's worth 498 ringgit each. You can win that if you just share this out, tag 5 friends. Just tag 5 friends. Once you've seen you have tagged 5 friends, we'll put your name into the lucky draw pool, and I'll draw 3 names at the end of the session. Okay, now let's carry on. Now, bonus session. Okay, now since we talked about advertisement, this is probably something that I want to share with you. A lot of people always do sponsorship, you know, and they always say, hey, even, you know, if I do sponsorship, I don't get tax deduction. Yes, you don't. Why? Because if you just sponsor cash with no benefit in return, you don't get back anything back in return, right? I told you, it is not wholly and exclusively incurred in the production of gross income. They don't generate sales for you. You spend money, you give sponsorship, you don't get back any benefit in return, right? You don't get to generate sales, you know. When you don't get to generate sales, it's not deductible. It's that simple. You see that, right? But have you ever thought that sponsorship can actually turn into advertisement? If you can sponsor, you get advertisement back in return. For example, let me just give you one example. You sponsor a charity dinner, right? You sponsor a charity dinner and you say, hey, if I sponsor your charity dinner, yeah, can you give me the opportunity to actually put up banner, put up buntings, you know, or I can put up a booth, yeah, to sell my product or to promote my product or service during your dinner? If you can do that, right, hey, the whole thing becomes marketing and promotional expense. See that? It becomes marketing and promotional expenses. This is deductible. Yeah, because this is advertisement already. See that? So you can actually turn a sponsorship into advertisement if you have actually, you know, negotiated with the person who takes your sponsorship. You say, hey, let me put up my bunting advertisement, yeah, put up my banner to promote my product, promote my service, then take photo, yeah, after that, yeah. Let me set up a booth, take photo after that. Have that in writing also, yeah. There's a letter that says, you sponsor me, I let you do advertisement. So that is how you can get deduction. See, so you can turn a sponsorship into advertisement if you negotiate, yeah, with the person who actually takes the sponsorship from you. All right, so that's one bonus session that I want to tell you. And the other one, I know a lot of people were asking about all this withholding tax and things like that. Like, for example, Chow Xuan is asking this. Chow Xuan is asking me this question. Advertising, no payment for withholding tax, is it still deductible? Chow Xuan, let me first tell you this. Now, at Facebook advertisement, I have actually mentioned this before, right? In my other sessions, it will be subject to withholding tax because it's now deemed as royalty payment. And if you don't actually pay the withholding tax, the Inland Revenue Board is of the view that you have not paid the withholding tax for the royalty. Therefore, the whole Facebook advertisement becomes not deductible. But why is that so? Now, let me explain that in this bonus session. I know nowadays a lot of people are actually using digital advertising. But did you know that if you use digital advertising, you probably pay all this advertisement fee, right, to non-resident with no permanent establishment in Malaysia. No permanent establishment, no business presence in Malaysia. That means their business is all overseas. And did you know that if you use digital advertising paid to a non-resident, it could be subject to withholding tax. It can be either Section 109 of the Income Tax Act or 109B of the Income Tax Act. So what's the difference? When do I use 109? When do I use 109B? Now, the main criteria to determine whether this withholding tax is actually under Section 109 or 109B, it depends on what kind of service do you get after you paid for digital advertising. Now, see, 109 talks about royalty income. 109B talks about the service provided under Section 4 capital A, yeah, under Section 4 capital A, or to be exact, most of the time we look at Section 4A Roman 2, bracket Roman 2. Now, let's look back at, certain types of advertisement, yeah. Now, sometimes you may say, hey, I pay advertisement, right? They don't actually help me design the advertisement, right? I pay advertisement fee, say to Facebook, like say, they don't actually help me to do advertisement for me. What they allow me to do is I pay them for the use of their app, of their application. I can go into their platform. I can make use of their platform to design my own advertisement, to create my own advertisement campaign, and therefore publish my own advertisement, right? Now, if that is the case, Inland Revenue Board is of the view that, hey, you are using app, you are using software of that non-resident. So what you're paying is not for an advertisement service. It's not advertisement service, but it is payment for royalty. Right, because the payment for usage of software, payment for usage of app, it's considered as payment of royalty as defined under Section 2, right? The definition of royalty. So if this is a royalty, there will be withholding tax. You have to pay withholding tax if that is the model of your digital advertising. But if you say, oh, the model of my digital advertising is different, when I pay this non-resident, they help me to design the advertisement. Yeah, they help me. I'm not just purchasing an app. I'm not solely using the app. Yeah, but in this case, I'm using their service. They're providing me service. They're designing the advertisement for me. They are, helping me to put up the advertisement. They're really providing service to me. Then that is an income under paragraph 4, capital A, Roman 2. It is a service provided. Then you would have to see, hey, if they are providing me service, right, that will actually fall under Section 109B. Then you have to see whether this service is performed in Malaysia or outside Malaysia. If that service, the advertising service, is performed inside Malaysia, that means they come to Malaysia and do it for you, it's subject to withholding tax. But if they never come into Malaysia, the non-resident stays outside Malaysia and design the advertisement for you, put up the advertisement for you, they are all doing it outside Malaysia, then it's not subject to withholding tax. There's an exemption because they did not come into Malaysia. See that? That's under Section 109B. Yeah, under Section 109B. Yeah. All right. So that is how you differentiate whether it is subject to withholding tax, right? Under 109 or 109B, and of course under 109B, whether it is subject to withholding tax or not, depending on whether it's done in Malaysia or outside Malaysia. See that? Now, so you see, this is the bonus session that I'm really giving you, yeah, for all these what you call it, advertisement related issues. But I do know a lot of you need more tax knowledge. Now let me just tell you what, a lot of you probably say, hey, this is a really good session, you tell me more about how to get deductions for this and that, how to actually differentiate whether this is subject to withholding tax or not. But let me tell you what, all of these are actually tax knowledge that you should really know. You should really understand all this so that next time you can handle things well. You can know what is the tax treatment well. And if you say, I really need more tax saving knowledge, let me tell you, we have got this platform. We call them tax professionals on demand, TaxPod in short. Yeah, now not iPod, not EarPod. It's TaxPod. Yeah, tax professionals on demand. Of which, right, we have a lot of videos in there to teach you more about all this tax knowledge. And we also have a lot of live session. If you are with TaxPod, if you are subscribing to TaxPod, you get to attend to a lot of live webinar session. Unlimited times. Now, let me repeat. You get to attend to a lot of live webinar sessions unlimited times if you are subscribing to TaxPod. So I know you want to find out more about this. You want to know more. Hey, what is this TaxPod about? And let me tell you, just because you're watching Facebook Live right now, yeah, we have got a really special offer for you, which others won't get it. Yeah, people who actually go to the tax professional on demand website, usually they don't get this, but you would get this special offer. But I do want to tell you what offer it is. If you say, I'm interested, I want to know more about what kind of videos do I get? What kind of webinars, unlimited webinars do I get? Register your interest by going to this website, yeah, bit.ly/YYC TaxPod27. Just type this out in your web browser, yeah, bit.ly/YYC TaxPod27. Go there, you will be able to find out. You just register yourself, right? Say, I'm interested to know more. Our team will get in touch with you and let you know more. And what is the promotional offer that we can give to you? Yeah, a very, very special offer. Okay, all right. So now I know you have got a lot of questions. I can see all the questions are all here. Let me just drink some water and I'll answer to all your questions. And don't forget, we still have lucky draw session. Now, so let me just remind you before I drink the water. I really want to say this first. Let me put down the water. Yeah. Now, let me remind you, if you have not done so, yeah, this is your last chance. This is your really last chance to share this Facebook Live out. Just tap share. If you're using phone, go to the bottom, tap share. If you're using computer, click that share button. Then tag 5 friends into the comment box. You just tag 5 names. Once we have seen that you have tagged 5 names in the comment box, yeah, Your name will go into the lucky draw pool. Later, I will be drawing 3 names to win one of these tickets to our tax audit and investigation webinar. And that ticket is worth 498 ringgit each. Yes, the ticket is worth 498 ringgit each. Yeah. You'll be standing a chance to win this ticket. We'll be drawing 3 names. I'll be drawing 3 names. Yeah. So if you have not done so, quickly do so right now. Share this out. Tag 5 friends. Okay. Let me just drink some water. Okay, I've got a lot of questions already. Wow, I've got one question from Desmond Teo. Wow, Desmond Teo is asking how to enroll TaxPod. All right, Desmond, we have got a really special offer for you, right? So first, what you need to do is just go to this website, yeah, bit.ly/YYC TaxPod27, yeah, YYC TaxPod27. Register your interest with us, Desmond Teo, and we shall get to you. Yeah, our professional team will get to you, let you know more what TaxPod is all about, and we have a very special offer for you today. Yeah, for Facebook viewers today, just because you are watching Facebook Live right now. Yeah, so just go to that website, bit.ly/YYC TaxPod27. You'll be able to register your interest. Okay, I know Desmond Teo has another question earlier. Yeah, like Desmond Teo was asking, is director also a major shareholder hospitalized expenses deductible? Now, Desmond Teo, this is a question, about how genuine these medical expenses are. You see, the reason why I know you have heard that IRB would disallow, the director and the major shareholders' medical expenses is because they say this is more towards private expenses. You can control the company, therefore you use the company to pay off your private expenses, right? This is what they always say. But if you can prove, hey, I have a policy, that is across everyone, let's say, gets a limit of 1,000 ringgit of medical claims, let's say, yeah, everyone gets the same thing. Even I'm a director, I'm also an employee, I also claim up to 1,000 ringgit only, I don't claim more than that, yeah, then that is something that you can argue and get tax deduction. But most of the time, IRB, and let me tell you, IRB comes, they will definitely add it back on. They will say this is private expense, I don't allow it. So you need to argue this out. Yeah. So most of the time, I have done this. Yeah. People come to me and ask me to help them to solve tax audit issues. We have done this. We ask for whether you got policy or not. Bring me your policy. I go and argue out for you, and then we manage to drop certain cases. Yeah. So Desmond Teo, I hope this one helped you. Yeah. Okay, another question here is from Sin Yok Pung. Sin Yok Pung is asking, if the original invoice is billed under company A, company B paid half. Okay, both company has same director for the bill. Can company B claim deduction? This advertisement was sharing together. How to solve this problem? Now, Sin Yok Pung, of course, the best thing is if you can have 2 invoices, one to company A, one to company B. But if you say you can't, yeah, maybe what you can do is get company A to charge back company B for that. Yeah, just say, I'm claiming back my disbursement or claiming back my reimbursement from company B. Yeah, and it has been agreed that both parties will be sharing the advertisement. So I'm claiming back from you. Then both parties would have, their own share, and both parties will have their own documentation to say that I'm sharing the advertisement fee already. Yeah, so company A can actually charge back company B and just say, this is claiming back of, reimbursement or claiming back of disbursement. All right, so that's some way that you can solve it. Okay, more questions over here. Just let me look at it. Okay, let me just scroll a little bit up. Wow, so many questions earlier. Yeah. Okay, like this one, I have this. Advertisement. No, Stephen Lai have answered. Yeah, this one. Okay. Cheng WK, for Facebook ad, we need to pay withholding tax. If not paid, what should we do? Cheng, I've already told you, right, about the withholding tax implication for online advertisement. If you are actually paying Facebook for the usage of their platform, you're supposed to pay withholding tax. If not paid, what should you do? Pay now. Go and pay the withholding tax now. Tell your tax agent, hey, I want to pay back my withholding tax. You know why? Because if you don't pay the withholding tax, yeah, the whole Facebook advertisement fee, the whole fee is not deductible, if you don't pay that Facebook advertisement fee. So go pay now, and I know there will be penalty already because you have missed paying that, right? But it's still okay. Even paying that penalty is still better than not allowing that whole Facebook advertisement fee. All right, so that's what you should do lah. Okay, then Chia Wan Ting is asking, Facebook Google ads have to pay withholding tax before we can deduct it in accounts? Yes, that's right. If you don't pay the withholding tax, from the income tax point of view, it's not deductible already. That fee alone, that Facebook fee, that Google Ads fee is not deductible already. So you have to pay the withholding tax. If you say I've late, right? Pay the withholding tax with the penalty, then it will be tax deductible. Okay, share one thing. All right, next, let me just see. Lucas have got a question over here. Is it any guideline or limit charges for advertisement charges between related company, or you can charge any amount? Well, there's no guideline to say what's the limit. To be honest, there's no guideline to any limit, but it has to be reasonable. I always say it has to be reasonable. That means it has to be according to the market rate, market price. If the market says, this is the rate, this is the charges, right? Then you go and simply mark up to very high price. Let me tell you, the Inland Revenue Board can come back and adjust the price. They have the power to adjust your pricing. This is under the transfer pricing rules. They can actually adjust your pricing. And this is in the Income Tax Act also, Section 140 capital A. Section 140 capital A, they can actually adjust your price if it's not at market price. But if it's really charged at market price, there's no limit, man. Okay, all right, let me see. I have more questions over here from Chua Nicole. We promote company in Google Ads, then ask outsource to help to maintain the ad. Outsource issue invoice to our charge company. Is it deductible? Yes, why not? If they're maintaining your advertisement, and this advertisement is actually in the production of gross income, helping to promote your business, definitely is deductible. No problem. All right. Now, Ravi is asking something. This is like not related to today's topic. Ravi, ang pao given to staff and supplier. Now, let me tell you very simple, Ravi. Ang pao given to staff and supplier, not deductible because it's giving cash. You give cash, that is not, it is not even an expense that is deductible because giving out contribution, no return, but no benefit in return, right? You're giving cash contribution, but that is not deductible, yeah? All right. Okay, now I answer to one more question, right? Then I probably have to go into the lucky draw part already. Let me just answer the few more. Okay. Jenny over here is asking this. If the person got provide service in Malaysia and outside Malaysia at the same time, is that will entitled for withholding tax under Section 109B, Jenny? Yes, if they're providing in Malaysia and outside Malaysia, there will be withholding tax implication. You got to calculate how many days is this person in Malaysia, how many days is this person outside Malaysia for the whole period of the service. You got to apportion it back. The number of days in Malaysia, subject to withholding tax. Number of days outside Malaysia, not subject to withholding tax. Yeah? Okay, B Cheng is asking, withholding tax is deductible expense or need to add back? B Cheng, withholding tax is definitely not deductible. Not deductible. Why? Because withholding tax is definitely not an expense that you should incur. Because the whole thing about withholding tax is that you're supposed to deduct that non-residence amount, the non-residence payment, you get to deduct that away and pay to the Inland Revenue Board. It is supposed to be the non-residence tax payable. But I know sometimes you can't deduct. You have to pay from your own pocket, right? If you pay from your own pocket, that is not deductible because it's not supposed to be your expense, unfortunately, Bicheng. But the good thing is if you really pay the withholding tax from your own pocket, at least the non-residence fee will be deductible. All right. Okay, now I have to first call it to an end for the lucky draw session. Now, those that have already shared out, tag 5 friends, good. Your name would go into the lucky draw pool because I have to call it to an end here for the lucky draw because we need to compile the names already. Yeah. So no more names to go into the lucky draw pool. Yeah. We have to compile all the names for the lucky draw right now, and I'll be drawing the names later. Yeah. All right. So later I'll be putting up, the lucky draw wheel, and then we will see who will be winning. Yeah, these 3 tickets to our tax audit and investigation webinar worth 498 ringgit. Right. So my colleague will be compiling the names. But at the same time, let me just look at more questions over here before I go to the lucky draw session. Yeah, let me just look at some questions. Okay, I think I have got this question from Leon. I'll answer to some people who have not asked questions before. Yeah, how about congratulatory message, Leon? I thought I told you this very, very early at the beginning. Congratulatory message. It's not promoting your business. It's not promoting your product or service. Therefore, it's not deductible. I told you, right, the very basic rules for advertisement fee, it must be in the production of gross income. It must be to promote, to bring you more sales. Yeah. So congratulatory message, not deductible. Yeah. All right. Okay, who else has not asked question before? Like this one, Yok Peng Chi has not asked question. Google has physical office in Malaysia. Is invoice paid to Google subject to withholding tax? Well, are you paying the Malaysian office or are you paying the overseas one? Now, if you say I'm paying the Malaysian office, well, obviously you will get, there will be no withholding tax because you are not paying a non-resident. But if you're paying the non-resident, you're paying the overseas company, then that could be a non-resident and that could be withholding tax already. So what you look at, are you really paying the Malaysian office? Is the invoice coming from the Malaysian office, or are you paying to the non-resident, which is overseas? Yeah. Okay, I think I have got the names over here already for my lucky draw. All right, so let me just put up the names, yeah. Okay, let me just unshare this and reshare again because I need to put up that thing. Give me 1 minute. I'll stop share and I'll share again, and I will, okay, put this up and let me bring this out. Okay, hold on, it's coming. All right. Hey, am I seeing that thing? Let me just, oh, sorry. Sorry, I was dragging it halfway and then it just got slipped through. It just got slipped out. Yeah, okay, it's here already. It's here. Okay. That's it. Yep, I think everyone can see all your names. I think everyone can see all your names over here, right? You will act, three of you would win one of the tickets to our tax audit and investigation webinar, yeah, with 498 ringgit each. All right, so let's look at who's the first winner. Let me just click and see. The first person is this one. Yes, it's Vivian Lee. Yes, Vivian Lee. I saw you were asking questions also, Vivian Lee. Yeah. Congratulations, Vivian Lee. You are the first winner who actually won our ticket to our tax audit and investigation webinar with 498 ringgit. Now, Vivian, please do us one thing. Drop us a message. Just drop us a message. PM us, or you just put a message in the comment box and say, I'm here, I'm the winner. Tell us, to show us that you are here. Yeah, just send us a message. Tell us that I'm here. All right, and then we will get in touch with you. Our professional team will get in touch with you and we'll give you that ticket to our tax audit and investigation webinar. Yeah, with 408 ringgit. Just drop us a message. All right, next person. I've got two more to go. Now, I know you are excited. I know you really want your name to appear, right? But let's see if you are the second winner. Second winner is... I'm nervous. Is it this one? I think it's her. Yes, it's Nabila. You are few, right, to actually ask questions, right? I saw you ask like very early questions, right? And I answered to it like very early. Congratulations, Fatin Nabila. You win yourself a ticket to the tax audit and investigation webinar with 498 ringgit. Now, please do us one thing. Drop us a message right now. Yeah, PM us, drop us a message and tell us, hey, I'm here, I'm the winner, so that we know you are here. Yeah, and congratulations to you as well. All right. Yeah, so thank you and congratulations. All right, so I have the last winner to be drawn. Now, so many names over here. I know all of you feel like, I want to get that. I really want to get this. But, well, let's see if you are the final winner. We have the last one, the third winner, yeah? And who's this? I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. All right. So look at it. Let's look at it. Could it be this person? Could it be me? Yes, it's me. Our third winner. You are our third winner and the final winner to win this ticket to the tax audit and investigation webinar with 498 ringgit. That's so good for you. Yeah. And congratulations again, Miki. Please drop us a message. Send us a message in here, or you can PM us and say, I'm here, I'm Miki, I'm the winner, so that we know you're here, you are the winner. So once again, congratulations to all of you. Yeah, I hope you really enjoyed today's session. I know there are some questions that I couldn't answer, but all the time, I always want to keep this session to 1 hour. I don't want to drag this Facebook Live session so long. Yeah, but I know you probably say, I want to learn more from you. Now, if you really want to learn more, again, let me just tell you, yeah, we have got this tax pod of which we have all the tax knowledge over there for you to learn. If you want to know what is the offer that you'll be getting, go to this website, bit.ly/YYC taxpod27 and register interest. We'll tell you more. All right. And of course, to those that have been following me, please remember to go to my Facebook page, Tax Guru Zen Chow, Tax Guru Zen Chow Facebook page. Go there, like, share, most importantly is follow my page so that you don't miss the next live session. Yeah, I'll see you in the next live session, which I will be doing every fortnight. Yeah, every 2 weeks. Yeah, every alternate Friday. I'll be doing this. I'll be sharing more issues, more techniques, and of course, I'll be answering to more questions. All right. Okay, so I hope to see you again next time. So please remember to stay tuned to my Facebook page, Tax Guru Zen Chow. Like, share, most importantly, follow my page. All right. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. I hope you have learned a lot today. I've answered to so many questions as well today. Hope to see you again next time. Hope to see you in my next session. All right. Thank you all. Have a great day. Have a great Friday and have a great weekend ahead. Yeah. Happy weekend. Goodbye. Goodbye all. Bye-bye.
我相信我可以，有目标就往上爬。你相信你可以。